Hi, welcome to Taylor Studio Live. I'm Betty Brennan, the owner of Taylor Studios, and we're in the shop today with Michelle. She is an exhibit artist, worked here for 5 years.
Hi guys.
And so we're going to ask Michelle about working at Taylor Studios. So the first question is why do you work for Taylor Studios?
Well, I work for Taylor Studios for quite a few reasons. I have a fine art background, and actually while I was in school down in Memphis, Tennessee, I worked for a similar museum fabrication company. It was a contract job that a friend of mine needed help, so that's kind of how I got into it. And after graduation, I was working a part-time job doing the kind of after college thing and decided that this was not what I wanted to do forever. So I decided to research more museum fabrication companies. Your guys' was one of them. So I did about 12 separate applications, resumes, cover letters.
To Taylor Studios?
To Taylor Studios and a bunch of other
museum
companies.
Yep.
Okay. And I was really excited that you guys actually messaged me back because you guys are so central to where my family's based. And it worked out perfectly. The location was great, and so I really lucked up that you guys let me know.
Lucky us. We got this talent, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's one of the most interesting or funniest projects or experiences you've had at Taylor Studios?
Well, you know, I know a lot about poo, Betty.
Do you? Yeah. It's a good knowledge to have.
It is. We actually very commonly make animal scat for our different clients. I think raccoon and bear are the ones that I am most knowledgeable about.
Good to know.
We even have a sample hanging out on my desk that I just kind of leave out on my desk all the time. It's very unusual, but you know, you'd be amazed at the kind of research that we have to do to ensure that we have the right structure of poo.
Right, yeah. Make it accurate.
Yeah, we do, and that's actually really important to clients, and they really appreciate when we take the time to do that research and to make sure that the things that we create for them are accurate.
It's important for their visitors to identify scat accurately.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
It is.
And do you know that their coprolite is the fossilized poo? So we actually have some old fossils up in the storage area that I'm sure is called coprolite. So we know our poo. So what's been your favorite project here?
My favorite project probably was cinema honing up in the mountains of Pennsylvania. Interestingly enough, I actually have photos that I took while hiking out there in my house that I had printed out.
Nice.
So it was absolutely a beautiful location.
Did it have elk in it?
It did not have elk. It was actually, because we were up there in like January, February, so there was still snow on the ground.
Beautiful.
And I went hiking, but near the rivers running through the mountains there, it's so wet that there's just moss everywhere. So you had this striking, brilliant, beautiful green next to this bright white snow. And so that was the pictures that I was taking as I was hiking, and I absolutely love them. But
that's cool.
It reminds me of my project all the time. For the project itself, we did 1,000 monarch butterflies that were flying out of the wall, and I was one of the fabricators on that, and so I did multiple steps of bending wings, adding bodies, wiring them together, and I was the one that was lucky enough to go 18 feet into a lift on site to hang these. And it's so cool because when you walk in and like you get a puff of air from the door, the whole thing kind of just shifts just a little bit, and it really makes the butterflies look like they're actually flying right out of the mural on the wall.
But I bet a lot of our visitors or our viewers don't understand how complicated that was. You know, when you talk about having to put the single wings on and hanging the wire. And I remember just here in the shop keeping all the wires separate and figuring, how are we going to transport this?
Yes, it was a very interesting process that we had to figure out and how to sort through.
Yeah, it seems so simple when you see it hanging there, and it's a beautiful piece, but it's really complicated what Michelle does. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's problem solving. It's puzzles, and you know, being able to spend a little bit of time on the research and development of different things, and we do so many different things here at Taylor that I really like it.
Yeah, cool. Glad. I'm so grateful. Yeah, you know, and when we first hired Michelle, we had a project where we had to mount a whole bunch of artifacts and fossils. And Michelle, you know, learned very, very quickly how to be an artifact mounter here, and now she's our specialist in artifact mounting. You know, I'm just so grateful for how much she wants to learn and how easily she learned that, and she's done some beautiful artifact mounting for us too. So the diverse skill sets we have here is quite amazing.
Yeah, the museum up in Bismarck was a huge job, and we had a lot of fun working on it, and I remember just the sheer volume and number of different artifacts we did there. From
And handling them is so complicated.
yeah, from handling pottery, which actually was kind of interesting. One of the crew that I had working on the artifacts had an accident happen with one of the pots up there. Yeah, so we were making these mounts, and they're specialty ring mounts for ceramic pottery that is Paleo-Indian era, so very, very, very old, 10,000 years or so. And you know, all these mounts are specifically made for individual pots, and he sets a pot down, you know, made sure that it fits before he lets go, and goes to walk away, and one of the other museum staff accidentally hip checked the pedestal that it was on, and the pedestal was not actually square, and it tilted, and everybody, it was almost like in slow motion, everybody watched this 10,000-year-old pot just fall and break into pieces, and everybody had that moment of like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? So thankfully the museum staff was there, the archaeologist that had worked on that piece was there, and they kind of just shrugged. They're like, well, it came out of the ground in pieces, we can put it back together again.
Wow. So what a nice response.
It was a fantastic response, but it just, it's those things that sometimes stuff happens to us that we can never prepare for.
Right.
You know, the pedestal was one of the museum's pedestals that they had already made, and it just
just kind of got to go with the flow and be good problem solvers.
Yes. Yeah.
So what are you working on now?
Right now we are working on some sea turtles. If you actually look behind me here, we've got the process board here, and it's our project board. It has different photos of a green sea turtle. Sean and myself have been working on this for the past week or so. Currently, I am putting in armature for this sea turtle. This is going to be an interactive turtle on site, so kids can actually come up and touch the turtle and feel what the different parts of the turtle feel like.
It's kind of got a VR experience too, right?
I believe so. Yeah. So the armature is going in right now. Welded it up this morning, and right now I'm just actually cut right into our sculpt that we just completed so that we can bury that down in there, and then I'll just come back through and re-sculpt right over it, and then it's ready for paint.
Great, and I can't help but highlight the reference board that we have, and this is part of our process. We often call ourselves a combination of art and business, so this is a way to communicate with the client and the artist and get client approval of photographs, client approval of drawings. We have our staff, they know when it's due, what the time goals are. We have other boards over there too, so it's a visual workplace, so another example of that at Taylor Studios. So let's see, what else? What else would you want to tell our viewers?
Well, a lot of the things that we hear about is taking care of their exhibits. A lot of clients, when we talk to them, you know, 2 or 3 years down the road, exhibits are starting to get well loved, and a lot of people want to know how to clean them, and actually it's a lot easier than you would think. Some of my favorite things are the Swiffer Sweeper Duster. Those are really easy.
It's just that simple.
It's just that simple.
You could come practice at my house.
I have no practice here, Betty, but
okay, all right,
maybe one of the viewers might want to come hang out at your house. You know, see a horse, muck a stall.
There you go.
You know, get all sorts of dusting practice.
Cleaning.
The other really useful thing is warm water and a mild detergent like Dawn. That will go a really long way, especially on like our water surfaces that we do. You know, just a soft cloth and a little bit of soap and water.
Yeah, and we create very extensive maintenance manuals for our clients, so we help them do that. So
introduced it.
Oh yeah, Fisk is here today. She is one of our staff members. Can you see her? This is Fisk. Fisk, say hi. Here, can you come up here? No? You want to show them how you can lay down? Oh, she's a genius, isn't she? Look at that. It's our beautiful company dog. Yeah. And since we're over here in the model department, you know, I don't know if you guys realize, but we took over Walmart, so this is just one little corner of it where we do smaller models. But this is sort of interesting what we have on the counter now. We just finished up, or it got shipped, what, 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks ago, got shipped out and installed.
To the Harriet Tubman Museum that's opening soon.
It is.
So it's sort of a funny, odd, quick view of things that are sitting around the shop.
So these are clay models that we worked on based off of photo references provided by the client. We had process boards already set up for these, and we built different ages of Harriet Tubman throughout her years. So we did Tubman's all the way from 5 years through, I think it was like 40 years that her oldest model was.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. These were placed on top of life cast models that we did here in shop. We've got another really awesome life casting project starting right now.
Yeah.
A
whole crew.
We've got a whole crew.
At the Marine Museum right now, molding Marines.
Yep. So we're gonna be having a lot of body parts hanging out in the shop.
Yeah.
So be sure to look out for photos for those.
And that's an old model up there, but I thought it was interesting related to what Michelle said about cleaning the whale. It's at the GTM NER facility in Florida, and they actually hired us to help us come down. We're going to go clean that for them. So it's hanging and it's really high, so it's going to take lifts and stuff. So cleaning exhibits is a really, important thing to do, even though it sounds so simple.
That one's a lot bigger, right?
Though, the one at the center is a lot bigger than that model.
It's a life-size model, isn't it?
It is a life-size model of a right whale, and it's a beautiful thing, so you should go see it. So you can see we do scale models for a lot of things, too. But we'll show you more as we go live in the future. So I hope you are enjoying this. If you'd like to see something else, or if you have questions, or please join us and ask questions while we're in these live sessions. Anything else to say, Michelle?
Hi, Dad.
All right. Thanks for joining us.